Mrs. Renuka Raju.
Good evening to the dignitaries on the dais and the delegates today. And if the presentation is going to take a long time, so I will just go ahead, even without a presentation, freewheelingly. I want to talk to all of you. Um, Today, everybody gathered here to talk about vocational education and technical education. I will focus on how students have to get into this, the feeder development. This country has only single math standard, one math standard for all. And that is the most constricting thing. That is the reason why NSQF has failed to a degree. It could not divide the students into sectors and fitment of the students into the with their skills to the sectors. That didn't happen. And I was associated with the skills and all that from way back from 2011 onwards, the then Planning Commission. I would want to, with this national education policy, we championed that there shall be at least 2 math standards or 3 math standards. When you look at engineering graduates, 60% or 80% of them don't get jobs. First of all, they shouldn't be there. You have a wrong feeder. The wrong feeder is why you have such low employability for engineer. So if you really look at what we are saying is right from every sector shall be introduced from +2 onwards, and we would look at the domain skills, subject domain skills linkage to sector. And that has to happen. And math shall be given in 3 different standards that will provide pathway into all sectors. This is a central piece of policy work that I have done, and our organization and myself are recognized as eminent people because of the central work that we have worked on. I believe that probably 10 years from now, Tibet will be integrated into general education. No longer higher education will say that it is a plain vanilla MBA. It's going to be MBA in retail management, MBA in travel and tourism, MBA in automotive engineering, and those kind of things. It's not going to be like just engineering. It's not going to be a plain vanilla anything. But coming back, in India, we don't have, if I want to start courses, there's no teachers available. +2 level, where are the teachers to teach any of these sectors, or leave alone robotics, leave alone any of these frontier technologies and digital technologies? Teachers are necessary, infrastructure is necessary. Without policy input, these two don't come. If you really look at the journey of, be it China, Singapore, Germany, Korea, they introduced a policy, they gave capacity building training and infrastructure. Into this context, what we did is we are coming up with sector-aligned classrooms. That means 850 square feet of space marked for each sector, where it's a fused, the lab and classroom is fused to ensure students are skilled, not to just the standards that are prescribed, but to a very high level standards. Whatever we do today in India, it shall be like Basabji and all my predecessors this morning, whoever spoke, all those things were integrated into at +2 level and 10th class level. We have to get them at that stage to embed most of the high level technologies or inputs. Because after they leave school, it is very difficult to track any of these students. Secondly, this is the experience of most of the sector skills councils. They thought that once they fail and they will somehow come into the system. It doesn't happen. So it is very important right from the beginning, from 9th and 10th onwards, math to be split into 3 levels. The feeder of what is our 5% should become 80% or more. That happens only when you divide maths. 2020, CBSE has already given a notification that math is going to be given in 2 standards, and states will follow. And that is when actually the convergence between the NSQF coming into NEP, National Education Policy. These two are enabling pieces of legislation or policy frameworks that will give a lot of impetus to the schools and administrators. And I would suggest to any of the NSDC, either partners or to focus on developing teachers who are comfortable to coming to teaching into schools, because the industry experts are not very comfortable in schools. So there need to be a lot of dialogue between the industry partners or maybe Sector Skills Council. How do we bring a very systematic bridge to understand each sector for the students, the counseling, and that's what happens in most of the industrialized countries. So the students know where they are planning, where they are going by having different level maths, and the maths to be given aligning to the sector. Every sector requires maths, and maths that is aligned to the sector is an order of the day, and also language and communication skills. This is the essence of the day, and I would portray probably 10 years from now, TVET won't be standing alone. It will be merged more or less with the general education. No longer right now, the skill university or whatever they said, it will be plain vanilla MBAs are not selling. That is the reason higher education is looking at sector aligned qualifications. So therefore, sector skills councils should be emboldened. The technical teacher development should be the critical piece if we want to be successful. Teacher development, infrastructure. If we don't have the right kind of labs and student development for infrastructure, it's not going to work. And not to mention high quality content. So with that, I'd like to bring the session to